Kind of just watching Steffi kind of rewind it and listen to her yap a little bit.
NBC News senior business correspondent and anchor here on MSNBC, my former partner and co-host, but most importantly, my great friend, Syephie Rhulze. Buddy, thank you for joining me. It is good to see you. We have a lot to cover this morning. I want to start right there, right? We've got, I know, I love being back with you, my friend. I want to start right there. The Republicans want a lot of spending. The Democrats want, sorry, the other way around. The Democrats want a lot of spending. The Republicans
Lots of spending.
want very little. They went in, tried to get a deal in the middle. It's not there. But here's the context, Stephanie. There has been lots of money.
Putting money on the bank of the credit card of America backed by China. The very person that gave us the parting gift of the Rona.
That's why the stock market is soaring the way it is.
That makes sense. They give us the Rona, we borrow money to take care of our elderly. Because let's face it, that's who is dying, is the elderly. 80 plus years old, people that are dying anyways.
But they certainly haven't in the last 3.5 years. Think about the massive corporate tax cut in 2017. You saw even the likes of Gary Cohn, the president's former national economic advisor, saying, "Ooh, well, we were happy to do that cut, but in retrospect, we probably cut more than we needed to." And the fact that the president is talking about a payroll tax
and the coffers, and you're talking about the coffers, right? Taxes not being high, getting enough income to do services, and you're getting there yet? Yes, but them are Democrat districts that propel the idea of be in your bunkers, be afraid. We want tyrannical powers. If they get away from that and say, go out to work to get the Rona, we'll give you unemployment. What's so hard about that?
It's stunning that our most vulnerable Americans are
most vulnerable Americans. Who are those? Who are the most vulnerable Americans? Steffi, I would love to talk to you. Huh? Would you add in there Skid Row? Would you add in there illegal immigrants' petri dishes? How would you remedy petri dishes? Would you secure the borders for the Rona? We can have tons of outbreaks from Jesus's coming in.
Desperate situation.
Yeah, you and I, when we covered the tax cuts a few years ago, remember we talked to Republican after Republican. They said it's not going to increase the debt. It's going to increase.
How do you feel about keeping Jesus's Rona from America?
It didn't actually happen that way. And when you look
Steffi?
at where our debt comes from in America, it is from tax cuts,
rules?
from wars. The Republicans
What's the rules?
All social spending by Democrats, but in fact,
I need a coffee. I'm pausing there. I'm getting a damn coffee. I'll get it. All right, hurry up. I got to sit here and wait. Hurry up. Okay, I'll be back. All right, you can go on. Now we'll wait for that.
Ali, the whole argument with those big corporate
She said, jihadist? Ali?
These businesses were going to hire more people. They were going to increase wages. And when you do that, it goes back into the economy, and that's a huge positive. Except that didn't happen. Companies invested in
So a lot of people are sitting on a lot of money, right? $600 extra a week? Hell, lots of people are sitting on some Venezuelan money.
When you saw the stimulus, that $1,200 checks, or when people are getting those expanded unemployment benefits, what do? They spend it in the economy. In the last month,
they spend it in the economy. Why the hell did you give them $600 extra a week? Hell, if I had $600 a week, that's twice the amount That alone, then I live on.
Working mother of three
That alone.
teenage children, so you are sure thinking about this the way parents across the country are about going back to school. Talk to me about that. Talk to me
Going
about
back to
what's
school.
involved in
Okay,
federal
okay, I
budget,
can
funding,
get with this.
schools
Okay.
getting up to speed, and how you generally feel about kids going back to school right now.
Okay, let's just talk about it economically. Because the president is saying over and over and over, reopen the schools, reopen the schools. My question is, with what money? The teachers union has already said it would cost about $116 billion to reconfigure schools.
You're
to be
not
safe for kids to go
reconfiguring
back.
schools.
Right now, the
You're
federal
not putting
government
HEPA
has
filters in
$15
them.
billion.
No.
Let's just say those
Get it out of
schools
your mind. We
will
don't
reopen,
have the
more kids
money.
are going to remote learning. What does
You're
that
trying
mean
to
for working
bankrupt
parents?
America?
There's no national child care plan. So parents, even if
Have
they
you ever
have
set
jobs
up a
to go back to,
containment
or
unit,
would have
Steffi?
opt out of work
Have
to
you?
stay home and
Are
care
they
for their kids.
polyurethane and a big
Voluntarily
HEPA
leave
filter?
your job, you cannot collect unemployment. So the whole idea is, and even if schools reopen, there's no after-school programs. So for working parents, there's very few jobs out
Asbestos
there
removal,
that end at
bitch.
2:30. So Allie, this whole entire thing goes back to where does the money come from? And let's say I do have a job. If that job doesn't offer me health care, or if the Republicans get their way and
Angel,
businesses get what's known as a liability shield. So if their employees get sick, if their customers get sick, they're not liable for it. Well, then you've got a huge health risk.
Well, then
So
why
then I could
again,
potentially get
my
sick,
plan
and
works.
I
If you
have
get
3
sick,
days
you get the
to care for
Rona.
myself.
You
Now,
can't
how
work,
sick could I
you
get?
get
So
unemployment
this is all
until you
really,
get
really
back better.
economics. So when you hear the
So
president
hard
say
about it.
people just don't want to go back to work,
They
come on,
just don't
Allie.
want to go
Maybe
back to
there's
work
a
because they're
small
sitting on
portion of
tons of
people
money
that are getting
waiting
more
for
money
things to
now
open
than
up to
getting
spend
more
it.
expanded unemployment benefits. But the vast majority of people, that is not the case. And when you talk about
That is
the
not the
big businesses
case. Then
doing
what
so
is
well,
it?
many of them
Are you saying
The
that
small
people are
businesses
not
aren't.
sitting on
There's
pile
thousands and
fortunes?
thousands of small businesses. which
Small
employs almost
fortunes.
half
To the
of the
poor man, a
nation.
fortune.
Do you think there's some big hiring boom somewhere? You know, I invite you to tell me where that is.
Well, I tell you what are you doing to start small business entrepreneurs and creating jobs?
Syephie Rhulze together, you were telling me that Ivanka Trump wasn't she building a national child care program or something like that?
Exactly. Ivanka has said straight out of the gate, there's going to be a national child care program. And you know, when we talk about child
Well,
care,
that's her baby, so we'll let her iron out the kinks and whatever what have you, and see her proposal.
People are caring for their children for 18 years. Right? Even now, when we talk about the daycare drought in this country, which we had before, and now it's exaggerated.
Daycare, so that's added into the hourly insurance and workers' comp, and so you make $7.25 an hour. You're actually making probably 10 something an hour if you're making 7 something or 13 an hour with liability insurance and any benefit. I don't know. If you're working at a gas station, make $7.25. Are they paying extra for payroll taxes? And I gotta figure it out. Where's my experts and advisors that explain? They know you get it. Yeah. When you go to work, you think you make 12 an hour, but actually you're making more than that because there's other things that you're getting.
It means that we don't get the efficient use of everybody in society. We are underemploying women, and then to top that off, the last recession was what we called a he-session. It was real estate, so it affected a lot of construction
Angel, honey, I'm
workers.
working.
Finance, so
What? Didn't I just feed you?
It affected a lot of
Oh,
men.
my coffee?
This one is essentially
My coffee,
a
y'all.
she-session. Women are getting
Angel, eat your food. Eat your food. No. What? I want you to eat your food.
harder hit in this recession than men are. So women who always had a tougher time because they got to deal with the choice between childcare and working or both are now being put out of their jobs at a faster rate than men are.
Angel, go lay down.
Absolutely. And
Go lay down.
women, especially African American women, Latina women, are occupying a lot of service jobs, a lot of jobs in the hospitality business.
So you guys, Obama set up the service nation job, or service
Let me ask you one
jobs.
question. One thing we
And so
know
I
happen
would love
with
to
women
see
is if
how many
there's
of
going to
these
be a
people on
woman
unemployment
presidential candidate
that
on the Democratic
Obama
ticket,
hooked up
which means,
are the ones that
there'll be
actually
first
got
lady
the
vice president
$600 extra a
which
week.
means that in
I would love to
2024
look into the
or
numbers and
2028,
see
we might have
Obama's
the
little
first
plan
woman
with this.
president in
The
America.
whole
How
overall
much of a difference do you
scheme
think
of
that
things.
makes?
Allie, I don't think that's a big deal just for women. I think it's a big deal for all Americans.
Well, it's
It's
exculpatory. It's what Gowdy you say with exculpatory.
The fact that you've got more women graduating at the top of their high school class, more women graduating from law school than you have men graduating from law school, and we still
Hello,
have a
Beijing
drought
Joe
of women
of
at the absolute top.
Morning Joe.
It's
Hey,
due time to see a woman in VP seat, and then hopefully as a president of the United States. It's hugely important in terms of messaging, but it's really important culturally how we see our leaders.
how do we see our
We
leaders?
have a lot to talk about, my friend. I miss you, buddy. I miss the
I miss
opportunity
you,
to
Allie
have this
Belty.
conversation every single day of
Damn,
the week. People
she
say,
said
"Hey,
that.
what happened?
I
You guys
miss
get
you,
a fight?"
El
We didn't have a
Velshi.
fight.
I need a
Our
napkin.
fight is not over. It will continue one of these days, Stephanie. Good to see you, my friend. Thank you for joining me.
Allie, and never forget, your hair looks great today.
Thank you for saying that. I got up a little early to take care of it. Syephie Rhulze, my friend and partner. She's the anchor of MSNBC Live, 9 a.m. Monday to Friday, and my good friend. All right, yesterday, the United States...
Continue the jihad!
Fatalities. It's the first
Jihadist!
day that number has been that high. 161,436 Americans have died from COVID-19. Nearly 5 million have been diagnosed with the disease. Keep this in mind. There are 90 million cases in the world. America has 5% of the world's population. It is the most developed nation on Earth. And
Well, we're coming up on what, 60, 80 million tests?
New projections from the University of Washington's Institute for Health Metrics.
Yeah, we're going to have a slight miscalculation on how many Rona people we have in America versus other nations, because they're not truly testing the way we are. You think? Little skewed. Little skewed.
100,000 COVID-19 deaths by December 1. That would make it the third leading cause of death in the country this year, behind only the perennial top two, heart disease and cancer. Remember that the president said just a couple of months ago that keeping the death toll at 100,000 would be, quote, a very good job, but that it would be, quote, significantly under 100,000. Now he has a new tactic, shrugging all of it off with one of our most common idioms.
They want to get their advice from you. And so when they hear you say everything's under control, don't worry about wearing masks, I mean, these are people, many of them are older people, Mr. President. Yeah.
Many of them are older people. You know what? Older people, social distance, put a mask on if you're afraid, right? Why hold the rest of us hostage for your fear?
Interview that Jonathan Swan did with the president the other day.
Well, I like
Pull it
that.
up. Watch the entire thing. One deeply red state that most likely doesn't want to hear it is what it is right now is Mississippi. The situation there is becoming...
The Rona is what it is.
And deaths, and even worse.
Get over it.
The chancellor of the University of Mississippi Medical School told Rachel Maddow on Tuesday that their ICUs are full and they've been full for several weeks, adding that some hospitals in Mississippi have been forced to send patients not to another hospital.
Hey, did you hear the latest? Did you guys hear the latest? They said the Rona's racist. It's racist. And I'm like, no, you guys just use it being racist. You said, hell, blacks go out and congregate. Shake each other's hands. Put your black power. Put your black power black hoods on and go after Whitey. And then later on, you're like, the Rona's racist. Blacks are dying. No, it's your guys' doctrine.
The situation is so serious that the city of Jackson just implemented an overnight curfew in effect until this coming Tuesday. Joining me now, Chokwe Antar Lumumba, the mayor of Jackson, Mississippi. First, Mayor Lumumba, what is the situation in your city?
It's critical. The hospitalization rate being so